Alright, there we go. I'm inebriated. And I somehow fucking lost my hat. My little cabbie hat, I fucking lost it. And I'm sad. I have mixed emotions about that. Oh, fuck, I did not even throw that properly. Boo. At least, luckily for my hat, I mean, I can fucking replace it, but I'm so upset about that. Here, let me do this. There we go. Bright. Zukov! Come here, big boy. Baby. Come here. yeah, I have meat for you, bro. Yes. Come up. Oh, boy. Yes, papa. Yes, baby, handsome. Yes, you handsome boy. Oh, you sweet baby. What a goofball. What a little. You're such a goof. What a goofball. What a goofy boy. Oh, what a goofy little. Oh, what a good boy. You know, I also had like a panic attack with this guy right here. I had a panic attack with this little fuck. This little furball does not know how to swim at all. Like, not at all, dude. Like, this poor dog does not know how to swim. Like, I was, like, kind of messing around with him at the Subwood dock. Which is, like, this little dock that, you know, obviously can go diving, swimming, and shit like that. And, I was messing around with him a little bit, and he, tripped and fell into the fucking river. Which wouldn't necessarily be a big deal if, he knew how to swim. This poor boy was doggy paddling and fucking was just stuck in one position and literally was drifting further away from the dock and fucking like could not get closer to the dock and shit, and it was just like fucking all on this lonesome, slowly drifting away, and my fucking homeboy had to dive in, you know, to fucking save his ass. I would have. I mean, if my friend didn't fucking already dive into the river before. Like, I mean, if it wasn't for that, I literally would have just dived in myself and said, fuck it. Like, because, oh my god, this poor baby.
Oh my god, he's screaming.
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, Lord.
I'm telling the story about my poor baby falling in the river. He literally, like, that shit put me in a fucking panic attack like you wouldn't believe, dude. Like, even though he was totally fine and on the dock, like, it was like another 10 minutes before I had to calm down. Like, I was hyperventilating and shit, bro. Like, that fucking scared me. Like, cause I didn't think, like, I figured he would at least have, like, some basic idea of swimming and shit, but he was struggling. Like, it scared me. Poor baby. Oh, sweet baby boy. Yes,
Oh, yes. Sweet baby Rays.
Sweet baby Rays. Yeah.
I said that more as a joke, but okay.
I mean, look at this little baby. Yeah. This is sweet baby. Yes, you is. Yes, you is.
I mean, you can't be too pissed. 10 minutes earlier, you were like joking about throwing his ass in the water.
Well, yeah, prior to that, because I figured he would at least have a better, like, you know...
You know what,
because I've given him baths, he's been in the water before, Like, I mean, there's a part of me that felt like, you know, he would be okay swimming and shit, because he's seen his siblings swim. Like, I mean, he's been around water enough to understand how it works. I mean, he does, but he does not know how to swim, though. Like, he needs his older siblings to teach him a little bit. He would have been okay if he at least had a basic understanding, because he was, oh my god, what made me panic was the fact that he was trying so hard to try to swim up to me, dude. Like, he was trying, like, swimming so hard towards me, but he just couldn't. That's what made me panic. It was just like, he was trying, man. The poor baby just couldn't get to me. And, like, it's... I mean, if it wasn't for the fact that Stefan already dived himself into the river to fucking save his toy, nonetheless, I would have done it myself. Like, I wouldn't give a fuck. Like, I was like... I mean, if it wasn't for the fact that Stefan was already, like, leaving and coming back, you know, to fucking, you know, get ready to dive in for his ass, like, I would have done it. I was, like, I mean, I was drunk enough to where I wouldn't have been warm enough and shit.
He's like, I was drunk enough.
I mean, seriously, I mean, this poor baby. This poor baby boy. Oh, dude, like, he literally slipped and, like, had his paws on the dock and then, like, literally slipped and fell in and literally, like, was totally submerged for, like, 5 seconds. And then he fucking popped himself up and was, like, fucking struggling, you know, to fucking, like, you know, swim after that. And was slowly drifting away. It was... I mean, God, fuck. I mean, honestly, just thinking about it, like, actually, like, kind of... It fucking freaks me out a little, because, like, God, I never seen a little boy fucking, you know, like, struggle so much, man. Poor baby. I mean, you're okay now, he's all good, but, I mean, fuck, that, like, straight up scared me.
It doesn't surprise me he can't swim worth shit.
He hasn't swum that much. I mean, I understand, like, he hasn't been around, you know, water that much outside of me bathing him and stuff, you know, giving him a wash. So he's never been totally submerged like that. Like, I mean, I feel like if he was in, like, 3 feet deep water and had me next to him and, like, waist deep, you know, kind of help him along a little bit, he would get it and kind of figure it out and, you know, be more comfortable with it. But I was drunk, I was playing around with him at the dock and, you know, being silly, and he, you know, didn't realize that he was on the edge of the dock and literally fell in. I mean, that's what happened. And he slowly started drifting away because he did not know how to swim yet.
I killed the dog!
I would not fucking let that happen. If he was submerged for more than like 5 seconds, I literally, even if I had my clothes on and my wallet and everything, I would have dived in there, dude. Like, there would have been a certain point where I would not give a fuck. Like, because I knew Stefan was already in the water, I was like, yo, can you hurry up and try to, like, get him really quick? Because, I mean, I was wanting to preserve my own self, in a sense. I would not let that happen. I'm just saying right now, that would not fucking happen for a split second.
I wasn't too intoxicated.
Dude, I'm just saying right now, that would not happen. Like, I would have, like, I mean, there would have been a certain, if he did not pop himself back up, I would have dived in with my clothes on. I wouldn't give a shit.
He's like, phone and all, baby.
Dude, seriously, like, I mean, I care about him, bro.
I love making jokes. I like to do that.
I mean, why do you think like, there was a point, like, shortly after we rescued him, where I stepped away from, like, you know, y'all talking for a little bit about, I think, music or some shit, because I was literally
talking shit about Tyler again, but I'm not
sure. I think so, yeah, I think it was about Tyler. But, like, I literally fucking, like, was hyperventilating and had to step away for 5 seconds to try to control my breathing because of, like, you know, Zukov falling in the river and shit. Because, like, that literally made me I mean, yeah, it's like, I got a snake in my boot, only this time it was Zukov almost drowning. I mean, it's like, I mean, fuck. And then I don't even know how I lost my hat, but I'm still upset about that.
Dog, you're literally a dog. How do you not know how to doggy paddle, boy?
I mean,
how do you not know how to doggy paddle?
Because he has not been exposed to deep water like that before. That's why.
Bruh,
you know how long it took me to learn how to swim? Bruh. Until I was like fucking 13 plus years old.
Bruh, how do you not know how to doggy paddle?
It took me fucking 13 plus years to learn how to swim, bro. Like, I mean, Zukov is probably just the same way about it. Like, you wanna know how I learned how to swim? My grandparents basically said fuck it and just shoved me into 10 foot plus deep water. and just forced me to fucking keep myself afloat. That's literally how I learned how to swim. It's like eventually my fucking grandparents said fuck it and just shoved me into deep water.
Oh, hell yeah. Rednecks then.
No, I mean, seriously. I hated it at the time.
That way. Go that way.
At the time, I fucking hated it. And frankly, honestly, a part of me thought it was kind of torture. But the fact that I was able to learn how to swim because of that, though, I mean, I guess I appreciate that.
That's fucking traumatizing, though.
It's traumatizing, though. It was. I mean, it really was.
We're gonna drown you, and if you die, well, then you're fucking a retard because you couldn't swim out of it.
Honestly, one of those fucked up.
Stupid redneck idiots.
You know what's fucked up is that my step cousin and shit, me and I were roughhousing, you know, playing at a pool once. Oh my god, hiccups, go away. But for some reason, I don't know why, but him and I thought it would be funny to basically try to keep ourselves submerged as much as possible. And him and I literally were trying to drown ourselves. Like, I'm not even kidding. I think this is like 2nd or 3rd grade. And luckily, the only reason why I stopped is because he almost fucking killed me. And I fucking popped my head out and fucking just started smacking him in the face and shit. Because I was like, I literally almost, like my body went into literally survive and fucking fight for your life mode, and I just like popped my head out of the water after like a full minute of drowning and shit, and just started like smacking him in the face and shit with my fists at like, you know, 11 to 12 years old or some shit, because I was just like, whoa, I'm about to fucking die and shit, you know, type of fucking feeling. Luckily, that was like the one time I think I've ever gotten close to a situation like that, but like, fuck, dude.
Nah.
Dude, drowning is painful, bro. Like, I mean, I honestly...
I've almost died like 1,000,000 times.
Have you died by drowning?
Yes. More than once.
You know, so you know how painful it is. Like, I mean, that's the thing. Like, it's so painful because you have literal liquid in your fucking lungs, and your lungs are not built to have liquid in it. So when it has liquid in your fucking lungs, it's gonna hurt like shit. It's horrible. I mean, I guess if you're like, you know, somewhat inebriated on some level or another, then it probably won't be as bad. But if you're not, then oh my god, it's horrible. It's the most excruciating pain, at least for me personally, I fucking dealt with. I'd rather choke than fucking drown. Because in a weird way, choking isn't as painful. I don't know why, but it just isn't. I guess it's just from my own experience. Because I've, like, drowned a little bit and choked before. On both, you know, different instances. And honestly, it's just, like, choking is honestly, like, less painful and less excruciating. Weirdly enough. Even though you're basically having the same experience both times. Only one had this liquid in the lungs versus the other one. Which doesn't. Which, honestly, I don't know what's worse. Probably drowning. More painful. Because you have fluid in the lungs versus not. So I'd probably say that's worse. I like how this is, like, suddenly deranged into this. What the fuck? Nearly drowning and fucking, like, you know, choking and stuff, yeah. Amazing topics. Yeah, I'm just glad that fucking Zukov is okay, though. He was able to, like, keep himself afloat, but, oh, dude, I felt full. Man. That shit honestly legit put me in a panic. Fucking seeing him, like, struggle to swim, man. That was horrible. Luckily, I mean, he was fine. I mean, he's okay right now. But That definitely made me feel a little shitty. Be like, oh yeah, he's totally like, you know, okay after being submerged and fucking like struggling to fucking stay afloat. Oh, poor baby. Like I said, he's okay though. He's fine. If anything, weirdly enough, he got more excited and more energetic after the fact. Like, he wanted to play with toys and, you know, with the toy that I brought with him and shit. Like, he was more into fucking, like, being roughhousing and wanting to play more after that. He's a weird dog. Yeah, baby. Yeah, little baby. Oh, he's a good boy. Yeah, you're a good boy. Yeah, I gotta teach you how to swim a little better, bro. I gotta teach you how to swim. You didn't do terrible. I mean, you kept yourself afloat, but you did not know how to fucking, like, you know, push yourself forward or anything. Poor baby. Next summer, I'm definitely gonna teach him how to fucking swim a little better. That's for sure. Especially, at least, you know, like I said, next summer. I mean, maybe not like now, because it's starting to get into winter and fall and stuff, but hey, next summer though, should be better. Should be okay. Look at this. Funny enough, I actually saw a sign. It's repeat.
You're just gonna announce it to the world now.
Yeah, I am. I jacked a no parking sign that had a bunch of stickers on the pole. Honestly, like, I didn't mean to like just snag it, but because I lost my hat, I was kind of in an impulsive, did not give a fuck mode, and I found like an abandoned sign with the pole and everything on a bush. On a bush. So I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna take this fucking sign. I grabbed that fucking thing, and I just hauled that bitch home, and it's sitting on the garage, you know, door right now, outside. Like, I took that fucker. I didn't give a fuck. As far as I'm concerned, that bitch was abandoned. That bitch was fucking nowhere near where it was supposed to be. That bitch was gone. So, that sign is mine. That's my sign now. Use it as a bow staff. I mean, dude, that fucking thing is heavy as fuck, dude. Honestly, like, I'm surprised I fucking carried it all the way home. Like, the only reason why I did is because this is like my 5th fucking beer. Like, I mean, the only reason why I did is because I'm like 5 beers in now. I don't give a fuck. I'm just like, I lost my hat. My dog almost drowned. My fucking, like, you know, like, I mean, I found a sign on the bush. I don't give a fuck. I'm taking it. Like, goddamn. It was a cool night, but, like, I was playing around with my dog. And he fell in the fucking river because of the dock and shit. Because he's a little fucking degenerate. And fucking... You know, and then I lose my hat. I lost my cat. I lost my fucking, like, Baker's boy hat, dude. I'm so upset about that. I literally fucking... retraced my steps to fucking find that thing. And it was nowhere to be found. I'm upset about that. I mean, it had my fucking, like, anarchist pin on that bitch and shit. I have to, like, I ordered all that shit on Etsy, so I'm just gonna have to order it again. And it was just like, fucking goddamn it, I'm upset about that. But, you know what, like, it's not that big of a deal because I ordered it online, so I can order it again. But still, it's just like, it's upsetting. Your hat, that fucking sucks. I know, dude. I mean, I have my tricorn, I have my, like, Stetson hat, like, I got my other hats. But my fucking, you know, my Page Boy hat, my fucking Baker's Boy hat, dude. I love that hat. That was an awesome hat. It's one of my, it was like my winter hat. Like, I mean, especially for winter, that hat was fucking amazing. But nope. Somehow I lost that fucker. So I'm gonna have to order that fucker again. Luckily, I mean, I have the receipt online for it, so I can just order it again. It's not a big deal. It's just upsetting, because now I have to spend like 25 something bucks on the hat again. And like $5 on the pen. Which is annoying, but whatever. I mean, it's not like the biggest fucking deal, but it's still upsetting. A Dollar Tree Family Dollar is opening near me. Should I burn it? I'm not going to, you know, say what you should or shouldn't do to that. But let's just say that if you happen to have a no parking sign, or like a parking sign, or just anything like that, I'm not gonna, you know, say anything about it. You want to see my sign? Here. Yeah, I'm going outside to fucking show the sign. I don't give a fuck. There's stickers on it. There's cool stickers and shit. Here. Look at my fun sign. Yeah. Yeah, baby. A can of gasoline and a match. Yeah. So there's my sign. Ooh, turn it around. Got a Fire Trump sticker. Stream on. A Petite More or something like that. A Brother Nancy sticker of some sort. Another sticker. A bunch of other stickers up there. Bunch of random stickers. Like, there's all sorts of stickers on this thing. A barcode of some sort. I'm assuming this says you've been lied to. Because it says lied to right here. And a barcode. It's okay to fart. That's literally what that sticker says. And Malt Liquor Society. And I think that's all the stickers. Yeah, that's all the stickers. Give me a sign, then you walk by with it. Yep. Come on, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, hello. Oh, front porch. Front garage. I have a sign. I stole it. My dad. I'm gonna make him look at my sign. I don't give a fuck. I'm just gonna say I jacked it. Like, oops. I mean, cause honestly, like, I did. I mean, that's what happened. I did jack it, but it was abandoned. It was abandoned. It was nowhere near a parking lot. And all that shit. Like, I mean, it was nowhere near what it said it was supposed to be, a no parking sign, which it was nowhere near a parking lot area or anywhere that wasn't not a parking lot. Do you mind if I reference this event in the story? I think I'm getting an idea. Do it. Go for it. I don't give a shit. My dad. Signed Jacker Ignar. Jacka Ignar. I love how my dad is fucking, like, looking at my new sign now. I'm gonna wait for him to come back and ask him about my new sign. What do you think about my sign? What do you think about my new sign?
It's very heavy.
It is very heavy. I literally carried that from Selwood. I literally carried that fucker for like 30 plus minutes. I was literally the only one carrying that fucker. Like, my friend Harley wouldn't carry it. Stefan wouldn't carry it. I was literally...
Because it's very heavy. You should have...
Yeah, it is very heavy.
Everywhere.
Yeah, I'm like this, like, I'm pretty intoxicated. That's the only reason why I fucking took it. We were walking home, and I literally saw that on a bush, and I just, in my brain just said, fuck it, and just grabbed it. And I just started carrying it, and my friends turned around and like, he's carrying a fucking pole and a sign. And just fucking accepted it, and I said sunk cost fallacy, and I was already on the bike trail, like, halfway, home, by the time I, like, was like, do I really want to carry this? And I said, fuck it, and hey, there it is. Like, the last, like, 3 blocks was fucking torture. But...
Yeah, it's better than trying to walk quietly with one of them big yellow flashing.
Oh my god! If I had,
try to walk home with.
If I had one of those, holy shit!
That tends to attract attention to you. You're walking with this big yellow light.
Oh my god! Yeah. Thank fuck I didn't have one of those, because yeah, that would have been very attention grabbing. I literally walked up to a 7-Eleven with that thing. I just set it down on the parking lot, and by the time I like got out of the 7-Eleven and I was just staring at it, I'm like, there's like 4 cars. Luckily none of them are cops, but like there's like 4 cars at an intersection. I'm like, I'm just gonna stare at this and just pretend that I'm like, well, it's just a random thing, and just picked it up and pretend to look like I was like, well, it's just it's just a random sign or some shit. And I looked at one of the cars, and the dude was just like, one of the people was like, huh? I kind of looked confused. I'm just like, well, I just kind of shrugged, and they're like, and they kind of shrugged back, and they kind of just drove on. So, as far as I'm concerned, that's my sign. That's mine now.
Here's your sign.
Yep, it is my sign now. I like before the Silwood Bridge got totally constructed. Me, Harley, and Tyler went at the construction site and took one of the stop signs, and I have that in my room. So.
And that's where that came from.
Yeah. That's where I came from. Before before the new Selwood Bridge got constructed. Yep.
They're taking a smudge pots.
So he carried while walking Zukov at the same time. Well, my friend Harley carried, was walking Zukov on the leash by the time I was holding the fucking pole. By the time I was holding out, my friend Harley was just walking him. Because there's no way I was going to be able to walk Zukov and hold that.
They don't have those. They look like those old-fashioned cartoon bombs, the big round thing.
Oh, yeah.
They have a little flame.
And a little fuse and shit, yeah.
Pots.
Yeah.
Somebody took one of those, and somebody hit this big massive pothole that was surrounding and crashed his car and died.
Damn. Take a traffic light.
Didn't tell people.
Take a traffic light next. I mean... If I had the tools for it, maybe I would.
Miles an hour, but other than that.
Also, like, my friend Harley knows how to make a pipe bomb. I know you do. Both of you motherfuckers seem to, like, sit me down and, like...
I love explosives, yes.
So do I. Which is why, like, because I've told the stories about how you used to make them, and just, like, at Yellowstone and in Billings on the cliffs and the rims, we'll just chuck them and just, like, blow them up, like, halfway down the cliffs and at the waterfalls and shit like that. Because Harley knows how to make pipe bombs and stuff like that, and he used to make them, too. And shit like that. Obviously not for, like...
That's all he's talking about.
It's...
Oh, Harley's here.
On the internet, I have no clue what he's talking about.
It was not used for It was not used for ill-attended purposes. It was used for, like, fireworks.
If the government is listening, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
I'm just drunk meandering. Nothing I'm saying is true. All of it is satire.
Overthrowing
all satire.
A bomb down into Yellowstone Falls is over.
I mean, yeah, that was back in the 1970s. So, honestly, the statute of limitations are beyond, what he did. So, any quote-unquote crimes that my dad did back in the 70s and 80s don't fucking mean shit anymore. The statute of limitations are over. So, yeah.
Around 1980s. Oh, that was great.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, statute of limitations are beyond, you know, what happened. Like, I mean, yeah.
With black powder and...
Yeah, black powder, fucking, you know, just toss them into fucking waterfalls and shit.
And you could see all the houses down below.
All the lights turn on and shit, and the cops...
Well, it was during the day, but all the faces appeared in all the windows.
Yeah, I told that story where you used to do them in the day, and then, like, people will, like, walk, you know, look at their windows to see what the fuck was going on, and it looked like AAA fire was, you know, firing in between the rims in the airport and shit, and, like, cops would show up at the bottom of the cliffs, and while y'all were fucking dipping at the top of them. Yeah, you're all at the top while the cops are showing up at the bottom of that shit.
And the top. So,
and the top too? Really?
Yeah,
oh,
so
shit.
We got halfway down the cliff.
Oh, fuck.
And the cops are just like, crap like this.
Yeah, like, they ain't gonna climb cliffs to fucking find a bunch of delinquent teenagers fucking blowing up, like, baby explosives.
We got traffic tickets to write, that type.
Yeah, like, they got traffic tickets and fucking, like, you know, DOIs to fucking deal with and shit. They don't give a fuck if, like, an explosive's blowing up at the cliffside and shit. They're like, oh, a bunch of drunken teenagers. As long as they're not driving, who cares?
They probably could have, well, I wasn't drunk, but I was plenty stoned.
Well, stoned, yeah. These stoned, drunk, delinquent kids are not driving, so, you know what? Fuck it. Who cares? As long as they're not damaging property.
The top and the bottom, they didn't care to go halfway up the cliff. So
or down the cliff, yeah. But that's what I mean, like, cause, like, I mean, like, cause fucking tannerite is literally, like, you can, like, buy that at, like, Sportsman's Warehouse, for fuck's sake. And that's more explosive and more volatile than a pipe bomb. Like, literally. Like, you can have the most tiniest of
shoot and get some tannerite.
Yeah, oh my god, I want some tannerite. Cause holy shit, put a little tannerite in a fucking, like, pumpkin. Oh, that bitch is gonna explode, son. Oh my god. Dude, I need to get some next time, seriously, like, holy shit. I got, you know, I still have a bunch of clay pigeons, I can easily buy some fucking fruits and, you know, like, yams and pumpkins and shit. Get some tannerite, put some fucking, you know, put that shit in the yams and pumpkins and stuff.
If you can get some tannerite, that'd be lots of fun.
Oh my god, that'd be fucking great. That'd be great. Let's just make sure we don't put that in, like, a lawnmower or anything. Because there's been plenty of fucking...
Got a lawnmower.
Dude, there's plenty of videos where some motherfuckers have, like, put tannerite in the most stupidest shit and have, like, either unironically amputated themselves or fucking, like, have injured themselves and shit because they're not smart enough with the tannerite. It's like, oh my god.
Never blow up a fresh cow pie.
That too.
Life lesson learned. You get covered with shit.
Oof.
If you do blow up a cow pie, make sure you're well away from it.
Yeah, make sure you're at least like 100 yards away from it.
Hey, you don't want to be like, that's just a firefighter.
This 2,000-year-old olive tree in Puglia, Italy is called the thinking tree bellicles. Whoa. That's a fucking crazy tree.
That's why I was a kid before I smoked and drank, but I still got shit face, literally. Just like, ew! And the shit was flying on that one.
Oh my god. That's a pretty cool fucking tree, I'm not even gonna lie. That is a cool tree. Monkeying around. Rival monkey tribes fight and stop traffic in the middle of a busy street in Thailand. Oh my god! What the fuck? Oh my god. Bro. Dude, I think one of them, it just via the sheer volume of the fucking numbers, I'm pretty sure one tribe has fucking reigned victorious over the other. Oh my god. Oh my god, dude. Dude, macaque fucking monkeys, dude, they're fucking little savages. I'm not even gonna lie, dude. Like,
they'll steal your shit.
Dude, macaques, yeah, dude, they're fucking little savages. Like, they're smart, they're fucking, like, mischievous, they're, like, straight up little savages. Like, they'll take your shit, they'll fucking, like, take your fucking drinks, your food, they'll take your purse, they'll take all sorts of shit. They'll take all sorts of shit. They don't give a fuck.
I think it was, like, Japan or China or somewhere.
I think it's, like, in Thailand and, like, other...
Somewhere like
yeah,
that.
like Vietnam and shit like that.
There with her purse and this macaque jumped on her shoulder, grabbed her purse and
ran off. Yep. Yeah, like it's literally known, like especially when there's strong macaque populations, where the like tourists are warned about like beware of the macaque monkeys because they will take your shit. And half of the tourists don't give a fuck and don't listen to it, but it's like, yeah, they do that. Like, they'll literally take your shit and rummage through it and see what's in there. And if there's anything that's edible, they'll take it. Like, whether it's like a smoothie, an alcohol drink, or a snack, or whatever the fuck, they don't care. They'll take it.
Yeah, I could be accused of creating one drunk monkey. He took my drink. He just got it, too. I'm just like, hey, you little shit, get back here.
I know I've got a couple squirrels drunk. Brazil nuts.
That was my, whatever it was, tequila sunrise or something like that. Suddenly it's just like, they set it down on the picnic table, the monkey comes up, grabs it, and runs. Hey, that's fine.
Damn, well, that monkey got hella drunk.
Oh, yeah, a little teeny guy about yay big, he must have got shit-faced.
Dude, that monkey got shit-faced, son. That monkey got shit-faced.
He spilled half of it running away.
Well,
there's still plenty left for him.
Plenty left for a monkey to get shit-faced, though, yes.
And later I heard just like, oh yeah, the monkeys like to get drunk, so if you buy a drink, they'll take it.
Yep. I've heard that too, yeah. Like, if you're in Thailand, Burma, or Shanghai, or, like, wherever the fuck, like, yeah. I mean, wherever macaque monkeys are native and shit, they'll do that shit.
I forget if it was like Cayman or Cozumel or somewhere like that.
I'm sure.
A little shit grabbed my drink and ran off. I'm just like, hey!
If it's in, like, in the Cayman Islands, then I'm sure it's probably, like, a different species of monkey, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're pretty much the same way.
Yeah, it was a
little guy with, like, a tail and shit. Like, yeah, like the little tailed small
the
monkeys.
Tail and the funky pace going on.
That's either, like, you know, Asia or, I mean, yeah, probably Gulf of Mexico, maybe, you know.
It was probably Cozumel.
Cozumel, yeah, probably. That doesn't strike me as Central America, like Gulf of Mexico, like Caribbean area. That kind of strikes me as more of, like...
I don't think they have monkeys in Cayman.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they do, but I don't think so.
And just like, oh, hang out here, like the nice cabana beach bar. I got myself a big-ass tequila sunrise and kicking back. It's like,
shit.
Oh, this is great. You know, we went there because we heard there's monkeys hanging around.
Yeah.
So we could see the monkeys. Suddenly, monkey comes up.
Oh!
Monkey grabs my drink. Whew, gone.
You know what's
like,
funny?
Hey, shit.
You know what's funny is when we left Selwood, we saw possum on like at that fence in like Selwood, you know, where like the Oaks Park is. Like, you know, that little fence between the bike trail and like the road between Oaks Park and all that shit. There was a little possum chilling at that road in the bike trail, and no fucks given, mad lad status. I just walked up to it, didn't give a fuck, and started petting it. And like Zukov, how he would like, you know, like, do that shit. The possum did that. Did not even like attempt to like forcibly bite me. Just like, just did that shit and fucking just like ran away like 100 feet, you know, towards like where the end of the fence was, so it can get on the bike trail and hide away or whatever the fuck. Like, I just straight up went up to a possum, pet that bitch, and just didn't give a fuck. And just, like, it tried to, like, chomp me and didn't do shit and just, like, ran away. Which confirms the fact that possums are literally all bark and no bite. Like, I mean, that kind of confirms it for me. Like, I literally walked up to a possum, petted that motherfucker, and it didn't fucking even, like, attempt to attack me.
Oh, yeah, they're mean little buggers.
Possum? I mean, like, I petted it, and it, like, literally, like, it didn't even, like, attempt to, like, chomp down on me or anything. They actually are rabies resistant. Like, their natural immune system tends to be very resistant towards rabies, so it's very rare for them to get rabies, and if anything, they're actually kind of immune to it. Like, possums are actually, like...
Yeah, a while back, I tried to get one off the back porch. He wasn't moving, he was like...
Yeah, I mean, honestly, because possums are all bark and no bite. Like, they will literally try to be all bark and, like, show their teeth off and shit like that.
Get.
Yeah, like, I mean, possums are all bark and no bite, though. If you literally just went up to it and said, fuck it, and just grabbed it by the scruff of his neck and just picked it up, like, a possum, I mean, it's gonna be like, what the fuck, and try to, like, squirm around.
They'll eat your cat.
A possum? I mean... A raccoon, yes, but a possum, though? I mean, like,
No,
everything about...
won't, but possum will. They'll eat anything.
It's literally the opposite from what I understand, because possums are more like little bitches, more so than anything, while raccoons will actually, like, fucking be aggressive and shit. Because possums are more or less, like, all bark and no bite, while, like, raccoons, like... Not only are they rabies prone, but they are legitimately more aggressive than a possum, and will actually attack in comparison to a possum and shit. Like... I've heard possums being, like, you know, standoffish and shit like that, but not, like, honestly, like, full-on aggressive. Like, I hear raccoons being like that, but not like possums, though.
No.
Not like, I mean...
One night I heard this. I'm just like, what the hell?
That could have been a raccoon or a possum, I mean...
It was a possum. I went out on the front deck. I was...
Possum petter.
And here's this possum. It was in the fall, like about this time of year, and it had a huge wad of leaves. You know, they're fallen from the trees.
Yeah, and it was kind of stuck to it or something.
Wad of leaves curled up in its tail, and it's walking along, dragging this massive pile of leaves.
Might have grabbed a branch with his tail, or maybe it is purposely, you know, grabbing along as like camouflage.
A bunch of, like, twigs with leaves, or...
I mean, possums are pretty...
Well, it had to be twigs with leaves because they're sticking way out on either side.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if anything, that possum might have been smart. It might have been trying to use that as like a form of camouflage, maybe. I mean, possums are pretty smart. They're pretty resilient.
I think it was using it to make a nest.
That could have been the case too.
Because it was fall, it's just like,
yeah, I mean,
it's gonna get cold soon.
I mean, honestly, like raccoons, possums, I mean, those type of animals, I mean, they are pretty smart. Like, possums are legitimately, like, pretty smart animals. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it used as, like, a form of camouflage, you know, at least in the meantime before it uses it as a nest. Like, yeah, I'm sure it went back to its little den.
Don't let your cat out, the possums will eat them.
I just never heard about possums doing that. I hear about raccoons doing it, but not possums, though.
I never saw raccoons there, but I did see a lot of possums.
Yeah, I don't know. At least when it comes to possums, I mean, they never have ever been, like, super aggressive outside of defense, you know, but raccoons, you know, can legitimately be aggressive, though, so, I mean...
yeah, I know that.
Well, yeah. It's just that possums tend to be more, like, defensive than aggressive, you know, more so than not.
Every time I see a raccoon, they generally growl at me and run away.
Yeah.
Possums will growl and stay there.
Well, that's what happened. That's what happened with the possum that I encountered. But since I started petting it and like, you know, try to like chomp my hand, it literally just started running away after that.
Yeah, the warning bite.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't even strong of a bite. I literally walked up to it and I'm like, oh hey, look at you, possum, and I just petted it. It took a chomp on my hand and literally just started bolting and running, and I just sat there like, oh, okay. There was no pain, no nothing. Like, it was just like he took like a warning bite and ran away. It was like, it wasn't even painful at all. I was just like, okay, I just petted a possum and no fucks given. Okay. I mean, that's essentially what happened.
He just about chomped me tonight, actually.
I don't know, I've never,
he usually digs in and I have to go to the hospital and get antibiotics for it.
Oh, currently? Oh, I mean, he's a cat. I mean, chances are there's probably some shit on his fucking teeth. Who knows what? I mean, from my understanding, though, possums legit have, like, a pretty decent immune system, which is why they actually are more rabies resistant. Like, I mean, it's legit very rare for
possums eat just about anything. They'll get into all kinds of...
Yeah, I mean, also, from my understanding, it's legit very rare for possums to get rabies, while, like, other animals, like raccoons and shit like that, you know, can get rabies and, you know, don't have much of a defense mechanism towards it. But possums, from my understanding, like, their body temperature is low enough, essentially, to basically mean that, like, the rabies, if it did affect the possum, would be, you know, their body temperature is low enough to where the rabies can't sustain itself and thus can't reproduce and shit like that. So the rabies is, like, you know, essentially more or less, like, either dormant or, you know, basically non-existent because there's not enough of a body temperature, you know, to sustain itself. Because, like, a possum doesn't have as much of a body temperature, at least, you know, as much in comparison to, like, other animals, like squirrels, you know, raccoons, and humans, and shit like that. At least from what I understand, which is, like, why, you know, possums are honestly more fondly, you know, looked at, you know, in comparison to other animals, because they're legit rabies resistant. Like, I mean, it's pretty rare for a possum to have rabies and shit. Which, especially when it comes to possum, I don't really have any fear towards them.
Raccoons are cute. Possums look like a giant rat.
They do, but I don't know, man. I think possums are fucking adorable. Like, I walk up to the possum tonight, and I was like, "You're a cute little bastard. I'm gonna pet you." And it fucking, like, took a tiny little, like, the most lightest little chomp on my hand and ran away. And I was like, "Well, you're a little bitch." And I just, like, I moved on with my life after that. It was, like, it was a little adorable possum, and I just, like, whatever. I mean, it was kind of cute.
Yeah, it must be somebody's, like, pet.
Maybe.
Or, like, a backyard pet.
I mean, it didn't have a collar or nothing like that, so... I mean, I imagine it was, like, a wild...
No, just... like a backyard pet, you know, like... You used to have raccoons that would come and eat the cat food on the backyard.
Yeah, oh, yeah, fair enough. Like, you know, somebody feeds it.
Sit there, look at you, just like, okay, where's our food? Give her that cute old raccoon look. Especially, oh man, I couldn't believe that one raccoon. I mean, this sucker was like, yay.
I know the one you're talking about, like that fat fucker that had like a small tail.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a little stubby tail. Yeah.
Yeah, it had like a little bit of a tail and then the bone was sticking out the end.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, the poor guy. He was old and beat up, so just like, yeah, that guy's been around the block more than once.
Yeah, if anything, it was probably like an alpha male raccoon that's been around for a while, but...
Oh, yeah, it's judging by the scars and the tail, he's been around.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, like, I mean, I'm sure that, like, raccoon is probably, like, you know, was like an alpha in the territory for, you know, around here for a while before,
oh, yeah,
he passed.
That big, he had to be around for a while.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't seen the coons for a bit.
I've seen a lot of rats.
Last time we had the whole family of baby coons up in the trees.
I mean, I've seen a lot of rats. Like, I mean, last time I let some peanuts and stuff like that out for the squirrels, I saw some rats by my window. And I was just like, you motherfuckers. Because I can't do shit to them. I don't have anything that I can fucking, like, take them out with and shit. It's like, you fucking rats. Like, I don't have a cat to fucking do that with. So it's like, what the fuck do I have? Nothing. So it's like, boo.
Yeah, we do got cats.
Well, they ain't gonna fucking, like, I mean, Meg and Curly ain't gonna fucking, like, you know, hunt no rats or nothing. Bandit did, but...
Yeah, too bad we don't have Bandit anymore.
And I wish
Unfortunately, we got coyotes. Not fucking coyotes.
And I wish I could fucking take him out too. But laws are in the way. Boo!
Yeah, and other people's houses.
That too.
Yeah, I've never seen a coyote around here. Apparently they're around.
There's at least like a pack of 3 of them. I know that much. Beyond that, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what the neighbors were saying. Yeah, there's like 3 coyotes. They must come up from Johnson Creek or somewhere.
I saw like the subreddit of Portland, like some person in like northwest Portland or some shit saw a coyote. And I'm just like, look at this fluffy, like, you know, beautiful coat-looking coyote. And I'm just like, what? Like, why are there people on the Portland subreddit like, you know, look at this little fluffy, you know, beautiful coat-looking coyote, and what a sweet little boy, and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, huh? It's like, this motherfucker would literally, like, eat your pets, you know, the first chance it got. If you have, like, a little, like, small dog, or a fucking cat, or anything like that, it will literally eat it the first chance it got. Like, what is this, like, oh, how cute this little coyote is. It's like, I would literally shoot that motherfucker the first chance I got. Like, what? It's like, I mean, those coyotes are fucking lucky that I'm in suburbs, or else those motherfuckers would have been shot a long time ago. Like, and also, like, there was some person, you know, like, that responded to one of my comments when there was a picture of that on the Portland subreddit, like, well, you shouldn't have your invasive species cat, you know, like, you know, out and about where it can, like, you know, hunt the native birds and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, so a cat that just, like, literally naturally wants to try to escape to the outside and did one night and thus went missing for a few days because of a fucking coyote eating that motherfucker and shit. Oh, that's because, oh, like, I was quote-unquote irresponsible and shit because I had an invasive species of, you know, for a cat or some shit that was in, like, a neighborhood where there was feral cats literally all and about throughout that area. And, oh, because my cat happened to, you know, like, leave for a day or two or some shit and thus become coyote food, oh, it's my fault or some shit. It's like, fuck you, Portland subreddit, like, you motherfuckers.
Yeah, Bandit never left longer than dinner time.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like,
worried about him, just like, okay, you didn't come home for dinner, you didn't come home.
Like, Bandit literally would, like, fucking charge raccoons and shit. Like, Bandit would literally fucking charge other animals that would consider him, like, prey. Like, I mean, the fact that there was a pack of 3 coyotes and shit, you know, is honestly understandable as to why, you know, he passed. Because if you have a pack of 3 coyotes, like, one cat ain't gonna be able to do shit. If it's, like, one cat versus one coyote, like, you know, Bandit might have been fucked up a little bit, but he would have lived. But unfortunately,
on his face.
yeah, like, Bandit might have had, like, you know, some scars on him if it was one coyote. Like, you know, we might have seen him the next day with some serious scars on him, but he would have been alive, and we probably would have been like, alright, you're staying, you know, inside more, you know? Like, we probably would have kept Bandit more inside at that point.
Inside, that's impossible.
Well, I mean, we would have been
Every
probably...
time you walk through the door, there's Bandit watching.
Yes, exactly. I mean, I know, I get it.
Like,
in
if you're coming back home.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, though, like, if he came back with some serious scars because of just a singular coyote, though, and was able to fend himself off versus 3 of them, though, I mean, we would have been more precautious about letting him out at that point. But because there was 3 of them, like, you know, he's one cat. Like, he ain't gonna be able to fucking fend off 3 of them. So, it makes sense. I mean, and also, like, I remember that fucking post on the part of the suburb where it showed the picture of the coyote. Like, that, you know, there were some people saying, like, oh, yeah, I hear them in the southeast, you know, Portland area, which is my area, by the way, where they say, like, oh, yeah, I hear coyotes that, like, you know, will howl off because they got a kill and shit like that. And it's like, yeah, guess what? That is somebody's pet. That is someone's fucking chicken. That's someone's fucking cat. That's someone's fucking small dog. That's somebody's fucking pet that was fucking murdered and fucking slaughtered by a fucking animal and shit that has no right being in a fucking suburban urban area. And it's like, we as individuals, as the fucking people that own these pets and shit, can't do fucking shit outside of report it to the fucking, you know, organization that, like, tracks, you know, coyotes, you know, in urban suburban areas, but they barely do fuck all. So it's like, what the fuck do we do? Nothing.
Night there was coyotes under the deck.
Where? When?
Oh, I had a dream there was coyotes under the deck, and I came and got your gun and took care of them.
You know what, for fucking frankly, I wouldn't be surprised if they would be chilling under the deck, you know, every now and then in the middle of the night.
Spot for them.
Exactly. I've seen possums chilling under there before. And raccoons too. I would not be surprised if a coyote was chilling under there, you know, one night or two or some shit, because, you know, there happens to be free food, like, you know, like possums, raccoons, rats, mice.
What was it the other night I seen underneath there? I think it was like a raccoon or a possum or something. It just
Yeah. Which is pretty common.
hidden in the back corner, just kind of looking at me, just like.
Fuck. Like, honestly, I swear to God, like, if I see a fucking coyote on our front lawn, I will not be afraid to put like at least 3 buckshot slugs in that fucking shotgun and fucking use it. Because at least a buckshot, like, it won't go through a fucking house wall and shit. But, yeah, might damage it, but you know what? Ain't gonna go for it.
Oh, make sure you're on the deck looking down, so if you miss,
Yeah, I'm going to aim down. Chances are, if it ever came across, it would be either on our lawn or at the street, and that would be aimed downward. So if anything, it would ricochet and bounce off the walls. If anything, fuck. I mean, and that's just considering the laws that we do have. And honestly, I did look it up, and there is a way to where if I were to work with law enforcement here locally, I could get a permit to fucking hunt coyotes in suburban areas and shit, but it's like they ain't gonna accept that shit just because you lost a pet to a coyote, big whoop. Like, that's what they're gonna think, and they ain't gonna give a fuck. So it's just like, I can't do shit.
Bow and arrow, right?
Not even that. Like, honestly, it would be illegal to kill a coyote, even if it was, specifically a tagged coyote where it was meritable for hunting and shit. Like, if it was a crossbow, a gun, or anything like that, if it's in a suburban area or an urban area, like where we are specifically, it would be illegal. Which is fucked, honestly. At least in my opinion, a little bit. I mean, I can get it to an extent, especially in Portland, maybe, but, out here, I don't know. I guess because it's more or less...
The cop is, that coyote ate my cat.
Yeah. I mean, it's just fuck. Knowing that there's at least a pack of 3 of them in this area, and they are known to hunt pets and other animals here and shit, I don't know. I can easily see, the local PD literally turning their fucking eyebrow and be like, whatever. Because, I mean, what the fuck did they give a shit?
Just are you shooting a gangbanger? No, tie him. Okay.
Fucking hell, dude. The Portland Police Bureau and shit, barely give a fuck anymore. They literally have, a soft strike going on where they literally, are basically the main reason why they're doing a soft strike, which is not a full-on strike, where they're basically oh yeah, we're doing our job, but literally the most barest minimal possible, because
Bonehead Mayor defunded all the police.
Actually, no. He actually has funded the police more, but literally because he's strangely I'm gonna suck up to them, but because of the Police Bureau, at least when it comes to the city and the populace itself,
then he refunded them.
I mean, not really. He funded them at least, a couple million more. Maybe initially he did, but he, increased their funding, after that really exponentially.
And even after the riots and everyone was saying, defund the police, so he did. And then basically
immediately, and even then, the Portland Police Bureau are literally saying because we're, quote, not respected or whatever the fuck, they literally just won't do their job. And also, even then, there's been multiple times since then where I literally will, be in Portland and shit, and, either, I've been to concerts, where it's at the Roseland Theater, which is downtown Portland and shit, and, the Portland cops and shit literally will, do traffic violations left and fucking right. It is insane. I will literally see pedestrians and shit and civilians abide by the traffic laws, but then I'll see a cop with their fucking lights blaring up, just screaming by the fucking stoplights to show while it's red, and then once they pass it, they turn the lights off and suddenly start slowing down a little bit after everything else is green and shit because they want to skip a light. And it's just
yeah.
What the fuck?
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah. Because they don't give a fuck. I mean...
I'm late for my donut break!
Yeah, I'm late for the donut break and shit. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean, it's just you're not respected enough, but you literally violate laws that you're supposed to, quote, enforce, and, yeah,
He's not violating the law as long as he has his rollers going.
Not really, because that's the justification to break the laws. Like, if you're having traffic laws and shit, and you're using your fucking traffic lights and shit, to basically just like bust through fucking red lights and shit, just so you can skip them and shit, but everyone else has to wait for them and shit.
No one's gonna pull them over.
Well, who's going to? I mean, if you're a cop, no other cop is going to fucking pull you over because it's back to blue. I mean, it's like, that's the whole thing. I mean, it's just like, the blue black's the blue and shit. I mean, they ain't going to fucking, rat each other out and shit.
Yeah, you could always say, oh, it's a domestic violence call.
I mean, even then.
I've seen one once downtown, red lights, hit the rollers, go through the red light, turn them off, come up to the next red light, hit the rollers, go through, turn them off.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. Like, they shouldn't be able to, it's like, for fuck's sake, if you're supposed to be the...
shop's closing in 5 minutes, I gotta get there.
It's like, fuck. If it's like you're supposed to be, the... protector and servers of the community and shit, and be the representatives of the law and shit, you're supposed to also abide by them. But if it's oh, we can just get away with doing traffic violations and shit like that, speeding through fucking red lights and shit, then it's just what the fuck? How are we supposed to have respect for them if they don't even abide by this type of shit? Or we literally sit aside while a fucking school shooting happens, in Uvalde, for example, and shit. It's how are we supposed to have respect for the law enforcement if they don't even do fucking shit? If anything, break the laws.
I swear, I came through this red light one time. It was 2 in the morning. They closed the bar. I was going home. And Shiloh Road was all screwed up because they're reconstructing it.
Yeah.
So I was going another way, and I go to this light. And it's normally a long light, so I sit there, I wait for a minute or two, back up, pull forward, back up, pull forward, back up, pull forward, go across the feet prints. And finally I'm just this light ain't gonna frickin' change. So
yeah.
And I look either way, as far as I could see.
No lights, no cars, nothing.
In front of me, behind me, no one's there.
Yeah.
So I'm just
that happened once with me and my mom, I think, once, in Portland,
I
actually.
Go through the light.
There happened to be a cop nearby.
I get, half a block up, and suddenly there's headlights behind me. I'm just oh, fuck, that's a cop.
A cop, yeah.
I pull over. And the car behind me pulls up behind me. As soon as he stopped, he hits the rollers.
Yeah.
It's look, I was waiting there for 5 minutes. The light didn't change.
Honestly, at that point, for real, though.
They still give me a ticket, fucking asshole.
Fucking piece of shit. Yeah, see, this is why... This is why there's people like me... This is why people like me are 8-cab, all cops are bastards and shit, because it's fuck. It's there's obviously, a moment in, an event in a day where it's literally no one's crossing the street, nothing's happening. I'm literally sitting here for a fucking light, and because I happen to...
waiting for 5 minutes, back
seriously,
and forth,
yeah. For real.
Sensors, the light doesn't change. I could swear he had a little button. And
I guarantee that motherfucker was waiting at a block away and just happened to see you there with your lights on shit, with your fucking brake lights. It's oh, there's a car there, huh? Let me, slowly turn around. Let me slowly turn and follow him and shit and see what this motherfucker's gonna do. And basically saw you, run a red light, basically, quote unquote. Even though you were literally sitting there waiting for fucking ever. To cross the light.
I was waiting forever. The light wasn't changed. I went back and forth.
That happened to me and my mom once, one time.
Changing. So there's not a car in sight, so I just went through.
Yeah, that happened to me and my mom one time on 82nd. The light literally wouldn't change, and she literally, because there was no cars at all, not even behind her. So she reversed 10 feet and pulled up ahead again to, get the lights to, register and shit, and it literally would not happen. And there was a PBB cop that happened to be on the other side of the street, and that somehow made the lights green, but not her specific light to turn, to King or wherever the fuck, and shit. And because, you know, like, that cop at least made it somewhat turn green, at least a little bit, she decided to say fucking and go anyway, because she was sitting there for like 5+ minutes, like you were saying. Luckily, that cop didn't do anything, but like, it's just like, I mean, there's like an obvious moment where it's like, there's no other car besides like you and then like the cop, and it's like, why fucking deal with that shit? Yeah.
All I could see was black.
Yeah, it's just like at that point, why even fucking deal with that shit?
All I
it's
could
just
see is the street lights. And
yeah.
It's like, this fuck that. I've been waiting forever. So I went through, and then I got like half a block up, and then suddenly headlights right behind me. I'm just like,
oh my god.
That's a cop. It's like, I could swear he had like a little button to make the lights stay red, because it stayed red for so long. I mean, now that light was notoriously a long light as it was.
I'll say I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, big balls.
Silly
I
boy.
swear that dog has the biggest balls I've ever seen.
I know. It's ridiculous.
Oh, except for cows and elephants.
Yeah. Gotta go to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back. Well, of course, you hear the word bathroom, and that dog fucking, like, it wakes up immediately. You fucking little freak ball.
Yeah, you might want to go to the bathroom too.
That was long as fuck. Oh my god, bro. Look at you. You fucking silly boy. The fuck?
Yeah, you got a good treat tonight.
Funny enough, he has more treats. Here you go.
Your mom's there if you didn't want.
He had a ham somewhere. Where did I put his ham?
Yeah, you're chowing out tonight, huh?
Did I? I think I forgot his ham.
You got a bunch of pot roast? How you getting some roast beef?
Yep. Beef to lots of roast beef too. The London broil. God, this shit is so fucking good. In fact, you know what? I'm gonna. This London broil is so fucking good. Dude, the London broil is like the best roast beef. But it's so goddamn. It's literally $16.99 a pound.
2 cups girly.
I can see. You little fucking degenerate.
I want some more. Look and look at his lips.
Come here, baby. Come here. Come on. Was Zukov's dressing for Halloween? I don't know yet, actually. Oh my god, it's so good.
It's just a bunch of Nerf things.
Zukov, get the fuck over here before I eat your treat.
Little baby pumpkins. Stick a bunch of Nerf darts on it.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like the coronavirus.
Oh, you know what? I could do that. Or I can carve out the coronavirus on a pumpkin.
Hey, just get
Dress him as a dog. Well, I don't have to do anything. Zukop, get your fucking ass over here. I'm gonna smack you in the face with it. Come on. Get over here. Come on. Come here. You're a little fucking bitch. I will literally
know whether he's too lazy or too hungry.
I don't know.
Too lazy at this point.
Yeah, he's too lazy. Is that the equivalent of blackface for dogs?
Oh, there he goes.
Oh my god, there you go, boy. Come on, come on. Up, 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 up. Oh, good boy. Paw?
Sure, tease him.
Paw? Good boy. There you go.
Hey, big new paw.
Paw? That's not paw. Paw. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. I had ham in here, but somehow it disappeared. I thought I had.
Between you two, I think he ate it all.
Probably. Knowing this little fucking degenerate, he probably did.
Yeah.
What could I dress him as?
Back to bed.
You know what? I could probably put a hat on him. Like an NKVD hat. Like make him an NKVD officer, but a little doggo. That'll work. Maybe an NKVD hat and like a harness or something. Have a few medals on him. Zukov, don't you dare, you goofy baby. Don't you dare, bro. Still thinking about that black guy who I met who sounded like Kermit. Wait, what? That was the strangest thing. I don't think I've heard of this. Maybe you've told me this, but I just spaced it. But I don't think I've heard of it. Hi, I'm a black man, but I'm also sounding like Kermit the Frog, which basically means I sound like Jordan Peterson. This is on my walk tonight. Really? Okay, so that's why I didn't hear it. Okay. Dude, you gotta like tell me what the fuck. Last night? Well, I mean, it's not technically this night, because it's literally like 4 a.m. in the morning for me right now. Well, 4:01, but, you know, still close enough. But basically the equivalent of last night. I'm honestly surprised I'm still, like, having a burr. Yes, if I was alright. I was so caught off guard, I said yeah. So I just said yeah. I mean, I would too. I'd be like, yeah, I'm fine. Because honestly, that basically means, like, that person ain't gonna fuck with you. So. That actually happened tonight a little bit. Like, we were at a bench on the Johnson Creek bike trail a little bit. And we happened to be, like, at the bridge where, like one of the fucking like max stops were for the Orange Line was, but like at the bike trail near it, and there was like this bench, but there's a homeless camp that happens to be underneath that bridge, which we happen to have our bench at, and some person happened to fucking like have like a skateboard and leave that area. And when they came back, I shit you fucking not, they literally brought an entire desk with them. They came back with a fucking desk. And my dog was going nuts. Like when they left and when they came back with a fucking desk. My dog was like, like doing that shit. And it's like, you little bitch. Come on, man. It's like it's a homeless camp. They're doing their business. We're doing our business. You don't have to fucking exacerbate it and make it so their shit is involved with our shit. Luckily, that wasn't the case, but it's like, you motherfucker, why are you doing that, Zukov? How big was the desk? I can't even fucking, like, huge. Like, fucking, like a big-ass desk, bro. It was a big one. I mean, it was ridiculous. Like, it was a big-ass desk, and then, like, there's, like, an extra length of, like, yay size, where there's, like, some drawers and shit. I don't even know, dude. I mean, like how I brought the fucking pole and the sign back, the no parking sign and shit. I'm wondering how this motherfucker brought this fucking thing back. It's like, what the fuck? We're all just chilling, and before we left, you know, this guy came back with this fucking sign, and I'm just like, or not even sign, the desk, and I'm just like, what? I mean, I can't really say much because I had the fucking literal sign with the pole and everything. So it's just like, I mean, I can't really bitch too much, but it's just like, what the fuck? The BBC declared war with Italy. Hawaiian spaghetti. Hawaiian spaghetti. Let me look at this. Let me enhance our Hawaiian spaghetti. Is there spam in there? Let me look at this. I'm assuming there's pineapple in there, is there? That's pineapple, isn't it? I'm looking at pineapple, am I? Like that. These things. That thing right there. Like, that's all pineapple, isn't it? Like, right there. That's some pineapple. That's some pineapple. That's the pineapple right there next to some spam. It is. I knew it. I mean, it's not a pizza, so it's not a full-on war crime. So, you know what? Like, in a way, like, I can maybe give it a pass, but, like, I don't know, dude. I don't think I can do that. Italians finally accepting something people like pineapple. Wait. Italians finally accept the fact that some people like pineapple on their pizza. Pasta with strawberries. Polish people. What the fuck? Polish people, strawberry. Pasta with strawberries? Huh? I'm actually a little confused with that. Is there like pasta that like Polish people love that is a dessert that has strawberries in it or something? I mean, I'm down with that personally myself. Like, that sounds good. Can I get the fuck out? Like, I'm literally pressing that fucking back button and it literally will not let me leave this. Oh wow, it finally did. I clicked it like 20 times and it finally fucking... Really? After how many times I clicked the fucking thing? Wait, what's this? Whoa. Polish sweet strawberry pasta? Dude, that looks fucking banging, bro. Oh, dude. Macaroni with strawberries? Dude, that looks fucking amazing. Dude, this shit looks fucking fire, dude. That shit look fire, bro. Damn. That shit look good. Dude, I'd eat that right now. I eat all those dishes right now. That shit look good. That shit look hella good. Been binging Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. Of all the cartoons I've ever watched, I don't think I've ever seen someone not be able to take the hint that Erwin. Take the hint than Erwin. Maybe Panini from Chatter might be a contender, but Mandy has told him point blank in his face, I'm not interested and never will be, even going as far as justifiably so to knock some sense into him as multiple occasions as he tries to get with her. This character of Mandy, you know what? I agree. I agree with that. Dude, this guy right here, this guy, dude, he has a fucking hard on for Mandy, dude. And you know what? Mandy has endlessly, throughout the entire show, denied this motherfucker. Denied him. Being like, nah, I'm not into you. I don't like you. I'm not into you that way. Like, maybe as a friend, maybe. But beyond that, fuck no. Like, Mandy don't like him. I mean, Billy and this, I mean, well, what's his name again? What's his name again? Oh my god, I forgot what his name was. And honestly, this, I mean, I forgot his name, but, I mean, yeah, though. Like, he really, Erwin? Oh yeah, Erwin. Oh my god. I feel like an idiot. Yeah, Erwin. I mean, honestly, like, yeah. Like, Billy and Erwin, like, as friends in that relationship, you know, like, that's actually, like, pretty solid. Like, because honestly, like, they are both, you know, they work really well together. But, like, in a sense of, like, hey, you know, let's try to get Erwin into Mandy and shit. Like, no, that ain't gonna work. That just ain't gonna work. I mean, Mandy, honestly, is just, like, too cynical and realistic, and I think, you know, like, too Aleister Crowley-like, really, frankly, in a sense, you know, for Erwin, because he's more of the naive, optimistic type. So, I mean, who also happens to be, like, kind of like a sciencey type of nerd, a little bit. I mean, so, it's like, I mean, like, look at him! Like, literally, he's straight up, like, he looks like a fucking nerd. Like a sciencey, like, little dorky nerd. Like a science nerd. I mean, that's what he is. And Mandy is the exact opposite of that. There's just no way. I mean, you know, like, there's just ain't no way. I mean, weirdly enough, like, Billy and Mandy, like, would be better than fucking Erwin and Mandy. In a weird, fucked up way. I mean, because, I mean, they both have been around each other far more than Erwin and Mandy. And even then, like, Erwin and Billy have interacted far more in the show in comparison to Erwin and Mandy. So it's like, it ain't gonna work. Which I think is part of his character, is just that he continuously attempts to, you know, try to be with Mandy, but it don't work. Because they just don't, you know, like, fucking overlap well. Like, their personalities are just too fucking, they're just too opposite of each other. Because Erwin is just far too much of an optimist, you know, in comparison to Mandy, who is just far more of a cynicalist and, frankly, more Aleister Crowley-like with her philosophy in comparison to Erwin. Okay, Ashley, do you think Mandark and DD might be worse? That dude has done legit sexual assault, kissing her without consent. Mandark and DD? Yeah. You know what? A little bit. Because, fucking... like Erwin and Mandy, like, I mean, between, like, that relationship is more or less like a dude who just does not know when to fucking take the L. You know what I mean? Like, but, like, Mandark and then with Dee Dee, like, you're right, because honestly, like, Dee Dee, while she is kind of a little bit of a narcissist in her own self and shit, especially trying to manipulate, you know, Dexter in a sense, I mean, yeah, especially considering that she wants to, like, try to, like, you know, partake in some of the elements of, like, Dexter's research with the laboratory and all that shit, you know, and trying to manipulate herself into being able to, like, be a part of that in a way because of her own curiosity and shit. But that in itself is also an element of, you know, an ability of, like, how she can be manipulated because of how gullible and how curious and how, like, much of a sponge she is when it comes to information. You know, so when it comes to someone like Mandark, yeah, she's going to easily influence herself into someone like her, like him, because she's kind of like an info sponge and very naive and, you know, not exactly smart, and and honestly has a sense of smartness. Like, she does have that, but she's insecure about that in herself because she knows that she in herself isn't necessarily smart, but she knows she's capable of being so because she has that curious mind. You know, so, like, Dee Dee, you know, has the curious mindset of being somebody who's legitimately can be smart, but is very easily manipulated into being this very gullible, naive type of character and shit, which she always has been throughout the show because of that type of shit. But at the same time, Dee Dee has shown herself to be a pretty strong character at times, you know, so it's just like, Dee Dee's actually a pretty complex character in her own self. At least Erwin's kind of done character so slightly more excusable, but Mandark is full on narcissist. Yep, yeah, exactly. Like, Erwin is just kind of like this naive, like, I'm kind of an innocent boy and I just want to try to have a relationship in a sense. Like, that's kind of, like, he's kind of the more innocent, like, I want to have, like, you know, connection and shit. Like, he's kind of that more innocent, nerdy, like, I want connection type of vibe a little bit. Like, that's kind of what Erwin is. And in a weird way, Dee Dee is kind of like that to a degree, but Erwin is trying to do that for Mandy, though. Like, honestly, like, if Erwin was honestly more attracted towards Dee Dee, I feel like that shit could click a little bit. Because, like, those two could probably click really well, considering that, you know, how their personalities are. At least thinking about, you know, Grim Adventures Billy Mate. Honestly, I haven't thought about the show in a fucking long time. And honestly, like, you're throwing out some shit, like, in my, like, brains, like, files and shit that I just haven't been delved into in fucking forever. And I'm just like, it's like, whoa. It's been forever since I thought about this shit, honestly. Because, I mean, how many years has it been since I've seen that fucking show? At least since, like, I don't even know, like 2010, 2011 maybe? It's been forever since I've seen that TV show. I'm honestly surprised I remember so much of it. And with Dexter's Laboratory too. Like, fuck. I'm honestly surprised I remember so much about the shows just coincidentally, just out of nowhere. As much as I do. I think it's just because, like, the fucking artists of the show, and, you know, it's just such a very formative artist. Like, because he's doing a Primal right now with because the same artist that did Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy and Dexter's Laboratory, Powerpuff Girls, Samurai Jack, he also did a Primal, which is, I think, on Hulu, if I remember correctly. And I've seen some shit of that. I've seen at least one episode or two on YouTube that happened to be leaked on there. And, oh my god. Primal is fucking amazing. Holy shit. It is pretty epic. Especially considering how there's, like, almost, like, no, like you know, like dialogue at all. I mean, it is just, oh god, fuck, Primal is amazing. And the same fucking artist that did Powerpuff Girls, Samurai Jack, like all that shit. It's like the same. It's like, oh god, it's so good. I mean, I forgot what episode it was, but like there was like one episode of Primal where it was like there was like one dinosaur they were having to like fight a little bit that essentially like had this like disease and shit, and like some of the final like scenes and shit of it was like at this, oh my god, dude, it is so epic. Oops. God, you know what, let me see if I can find it, because it's just fucking amazing. Have you seen season 5 of Samurai Jack? Oh my god. It's been forever since I've seen Samurai Jack, so I don't even know, frankly. I don't know if I've seen season 5 or not, honestly. Samurai is effective to plague. Oh, here we go. This is the episode I was thinking of. No! Get back here. There we go. Yeah. Desperate. It's trying to get up. It's trying to hydrate itself. I literally felt like this on Sunday. I literally felt like this. This is how I felt on Sunday. It's literally puking blood. God, this fucking show, dude. Oh. God, this show is fucking, like... Oh, God. Genny Tartakovsky, dude. Oh, my God. This guy's... Dude, this guy will forever be a legend. This guy, like, Tartakovsky, like, this guy is forever gonna be a fucking legend, dude. This guy... Oh... God, dude, especially Primal, man. This show is fucking epic. Seriously. I recommend really checking the show out if you haven't seen it yet. God, I mean, it's legit pretty fucking brutal. And that episode alone with, that's like near the beginning of the episode, like, that episode especially is fucking insane. Like, legit. There's 3 seasons of it already? Oh my god. Fuck yes. Yes. And it's on YouTube too. Fuck yeah. Oh. How much is it? Oh, $8. Ooh. Wait, that's all the seasons. $8 for all the seasons? Oh, I might do that. Did you know that Billy Manny had a crossover with Kids Next Door? Oh, you know what? I think I've seen that episode before. I might have, honestly, now that I think about it. Since you mentioned it, I'm thinking about it, and I think so. Oh shit, dude, this is the same episode, but dude, this scene is fucking insane from Primal. Dude, this shit is insane. This is a dream that the main character has. dude. It's fucking dream sequence. Oh, God. What's fucking crazy is that, because, you know, he's kind of like a caveman type of guy, like, he, you know, because he's killed, you know, many things where he can kind of see, like, the skeletal structure of, you know, other animals. He's never seen the internal of his own self. So when in his dream sequence, his, like, skeletal, like, fingers and shit are more or less kind of like, essentially like how your regular fingers would be, but it's, you know, like skeleton almost. Like, you know, like the skin's literally overlapping it in a sense. Because he's never seen another human's, like, internal structure, but he's seen other animals like that. This is, like, honestly a fucking amazing, like, awesome, like, sequence of scenes and shit. Because, like, it also kind of adds a sense of, like, because he's never seen, you know, the internal structure of a human, but has seen the internal structures of other animals and shit. Like, that's also why, like, you get, like, this emptiness, you know, like right here and shit with his gut. Like, you don't see his spine or any of his other organs and shit because he hasn't seen the inside of a human being. So he doesn't necessarily have an idea of what's in there in comparison to other animals and shit. Which is honestly like a really cool, slight little subtle touch in, you know, in things like this, in a show like that. Which is like, oh, it just makes it that much cooler. I mean, that's why I love Primal so fucking much. Because, like, tiny little things like that really, actually, in a weird way, go a long way. It's like, oh, God, I love this show so much. The first season alone is fucking amazing. I didn't even realize there's like 3 seasons of it already. But the first season alone is just like, oh, just fucking amazing. Is this more of the, that zombie dinosaur? Oh yeah, it is. Same episode. Died. But that's the same fucking dinosaur that got infected though. Doesn't realize it yet though. You know it got hurt. Doesn't realize what happened to it yet. It's also a really awesome transition. It starts with a immediately, you know, getting bit, and then just immediate transition into being infected. It's honestly fucking really, like... I mean, we've seen this part already. We'll skip a little bit. We saw this part, yeah. The other one, the rest of them are like, oh shit. Like, what's going on with this guy? He's infected, he's sick. Something's happening. This gets violent really quickly. Crushes all the fucking nests of the eggs. You realize that he's probably not a friend anymore and starts trying to defend himself, but nope. Shit gets fucking brutal really quick. This is why I love this show so much. fucking is violent so quick. I love it. Nothing they can do though. Just lambs to the slaughter. God, this fucking show is so good. Show's so good. Oh, it's Adult Swim Deutschland. Is all the comments in German? Oh my god, they are. Oh wait, nope. The first one was. Otte Schweine, was würde ne Florga? Family Vater vom Zombie, totally disgusting family. For the summer that sits in some ragli, sublisted under the ganache. Okay, I'm not gonna geek. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop right there. But honestly, like that episode alone, right there, like that episode specifically, I forgot the name of it. It's probably in here. Nope. I'm gonna fucking understand a fucking word of that description. Staga noodle de video geflagli? Uploading den YouTube-Kanal von Adult Swim Deutschland. And it's like, there you go. It's like, yeah, like, I can understand a fucking word of that. Good lord. Oh my god. Yeah, like, yep. I'm gonna understand every word of that 100%. I mean, but I forgot the name of the episode, but that episode of Primal specifically, oh my god. Oh. I like that episode specifically. I seriously recommend checking out because Primal is, I mean, like Tartakovsky, like Genny Tartakovsky, like oh my god, like he's like legitimately like a very phenomenal artist and shit. And like, I mean, with this show, like his original that he did, oh my, god damn, it is so fucking good. It is legitimately like really good. Like I don't really like see that for many shows, like legitimately, and like cause like, but Primal though, like it is very meritable for that. Like it is very fucking good. Like seriously, check it out. Type of fucking like. You know, like, consideration, because it's really good. I mean, at least for me, it's that good. Spear fights a Tyrannosaurus pack. Oh my god, that's another good scene, too. God. There's a lot of really good scenes out of Primal. I mean, if you, just out of curiosity, if you really need, you know, just still want to, you know, see if it is, you know, for you, just there's a lot of different scenes of Primal that are just really awesome. So I mean, I definitely I recommend checking that out because Primal's just a fucking really good show. Especially for like a 2D animated cartoon show. Like, I mean, it's so rare to find like a legitimately like good show that's like that nowadays. And Primal's like, it's certainly up there. Oh. Amazing to upload a video. Wow. It's been a while since he's uploaded a full-on video. Oh my god, it's almost 20 minutes? And he uploaded at like 4 a.m.? It's like the best fucking TJ Kirk video out there. It's like 4 a.m. video that he just uploads randomly. Hell yeah. Let's check this son of a bitch out.
It is good to see you again.
It is good to see you.
Florida was recently devastated by Hurricane Ian,
Yep.
which caused billions.
God damn. Dude, look at this. That's just like one area of fucking Florida, dude. Fuck. Look at that. Jesus. I mean, I'm assuming like the buildings right there are like up to code when it comes to like insane hurricanes, but literally everything else around it didn't survive, like at all.
Over billions of dollars in damage, and it cost over 100 people their lives. That's a low estimate because, of course, there are many people still missing, many of whom will never be found, and many of whom will be found dead.
If anything, honestly, considering Ron DeSantis, he would likely, do similar ideas and policies that happened during the fucking hiccups. Are you serious right now? Worst timing. But like considering like some of the policies that happened during Bush, during Katrina, and how there was literal like massacres that happened, I literally would not be surprised if this happened in Florida during DeSantis and shit.
Of Florida, presidential hopeful Ron DeSantis, fresh off of his
Oh my god, hiccups, go away.
botched political stunt of sending migrants to Martha's Vineyard, has engaged in, I would argue, a more ridiculous political stunt by grilling up some hash browns.
Are you fucking kidding me? You grill up hash browns? Seriously? You bitch? Like, is that more pussy than fucking, like, Trump literally, like, fucking, like, doing some basketball three-point liners with, like, toilet paper and shit? Like, is that more pussy than that? Because, fuck. I'm literally debating that in my brain right now. What's more pussy? Fucking, like, Trump throwing three-point liners with fucking, like, paper towels, or fucking DeSantis making goddamn hash browns at a fucking Waffle House or some shit. I guarantee you this is at a fucking Waffle House in fucking Florida or some shit. Oh my god, hiccups, can you fucking go away? Oh my god, hiccups. Fucking hell. You fucking faggot pieces of shit. I'm just gonna take a deep breath and let this play so I can get rid of my hiccups.
In Florida. I saw some Republican voters that were actually impressed by this.
What?
You know? Do me a favor. If you think that the best time usage of your state's governor after a multi-billion-dollar national disaster
I'm just gonna let my hiccups happen.
is manning the Waffle House grill.
It was a Waffle House! Oh my god, I was fucking right! It was a Waffle House? I was literally making a guess! I was making a wild guess! Dude, are you fucking kidding me? It was literally a Waffle House? I did not watch this. Like, honestly, like, I was notified about this earlier on my stream. I literally did not watch this. Oh my god, this is at a fucking Waffle House? Are you serious? And my hiccups literally won't go away. Go away, hiccups, please. Oh my god, they won't. No!
Call the voter registration offices, let them know that you are not a serious person, and ask them to kindly remove your name from the voter rolls for now and forevermore. Because
Those people would be impressed with keys being jingled in front of them. Yeah, honestly, it's fucking Florida. Of course it would. Of course they would. It's Florida. Oh my god, hiccups, please go away! No, hiccups, go! Fuck! They won't. Oh my god. Oh. Please, stop. They won't. Not going away.
First of all, how does one believe for a second that this idiot can even grill up a decent hash brown, right?
He can't.
Step aside, you political hack. Let the three-toothed meth head... I'll get accused of being classist for saying this, but anyone who's been in a Waffle House knows I'm just being real, all right? Come on. Let that guy with the Crayola marker quality sleeve of prison tats, let that guy back on the grill. 'Cause you know what? He's good at it. Ronnie.
I mean, no shit. At least, like, the fucking dude who has, like, prison tats and shit has at least, like, 3+ years of experience on that fucking, hash brown grill and shit. So at least that, worker has an understanding of the fucking workplace. Unlike Ron DeSantis, who's never stepped a foot in the fucking Waffle House up until this fucking PR stunt. Little bitch.
So first of all, I'm concerned about the low quality of hash browns being served to our first responders.
My hiccups are literally like getting worse as this goes on, and this is annoying me because we're not even 3 minutes into this. The only reason I'm stopping so much is because of my fucking hiccups. God, go away.
DeSantis has what it takes to grill up a decent hash brown.
He literally doesn't. Nope.
But you know what? The people of Florida didn't elect him to cook hash browns in the first place, did they?
Nope.
Ron, you were elected to bully trans kids. Okay, yeah, but you were also elected to, when the situation calls for it, right? To I don't know. What's that thing governors are supposed to do again? I don't know.
Govern?
Right.
Yeah! Govern!
The word governor is actually derived from the word govern.
Govern, yes.
Holy shit.
Wow. Mayor.
If you want to make hash browns,
it's just like, honestly,
House, if you think that that's
fucking pause, you fucking piece of shit. Fuck you. Like, I mean, it's like, wow. Okay. Did my hiccups stop? Did they actually stop finally? Nope. Okay, whatever. Anyway, like, it's as if, like, being governor means that you have to do a thing called govern. Like, I don't know, something that, like, every fucking state governor probably understands and at least has some basic understanding of. Unlike Ron DeSantis.
In life, then maybe you need to run for
DeSantis gonna make cornflakes. What is that slash? Dude, that motherfucker could not make a cornflake to save his life. Not even a singular cornflake.
Because governor is for people who want to govern. All right?
Oh my god, my hiccups.
If you want to make hash browns for a living, then do what every other Waffle House hash brown cook has done to get to that point. Make a series of...
Dude, my hiccups are literally getting worse. Oh my god. Please, just stop hiccups. Oh my god. This is actually making me insane. Refer to my above link. I'll click this. I'll click it. Fuck it.
People. I was the one who found Bush after Hurricane Katrina. Mr. President, are you up there? Go wait! Sir, there's a disaster in New Orleans. I'm reading Super Fudge. You gotta come down and deal with this. Don't make me do stuff.
Don't make me do stuff. Fucking goddamn Bush in a shell, of course. No! I don't accept that. God damn it! I have to. Fucking hell. Where were we? Like, this far? I remember, like, being this far in or something.
A marker Waffle House hash brown cook has done to get to that point. Make a hash browns at the Waffle House. If you think
Hash browns.
your true calling in
Hash
life,
browns.
maybe you need to run for hash.
I hate when it happens. I know. But you know what? Hash browns and hiccups. Hiccup hash browns. They won't go away.
Governor, because governor is for people who want to govern. All right? If you want to make hash browns for a living, then do what every other Waffle House hash brown cook has done to get to that point. Make a series of terrible life decisions. Well, actually, you've already done that, huh? What is it? Oh, right, I forgot the missing ingredient. You have to make those terrible life decisions while being poor. That's how you get it. That's how you get the coveted, hash brown maker job, This sort of a publicity stunt by DeSantis really is a story to me.
I swear to fucking God, I'm never gonna have these hiccups go away. This is actually the longest hiccups that have ever fucking happened. It is so fucking annoying. Like, this is actually distracting me. Oh my God! Drink water. I have alcohol. That's literally, you know what? My hiccups went away, boy. That's what did it. Who needs water when you have alcohol?
And downs. As in, the people who eat this garbage...
I'm going to skip like 30 seconds because holy fuck.
While being poor. That's how you get it. That's how you get the coveted, hash brown maker job, This
You gotta be poor.
Publicity stunt.
You gotta be poor, be like a fucking, at least like 10 plus grand in debt and student loan debts and shit. Medical debts. Yeah. That's how you be, the most proficient, best hash brown maker in the country. Yep.
A story, to me, of ups and downs. As in, the people who eat this garbage up are the same people who are bringing this country down. The Republican brain doesn't exist, but if it did exist,
No, it does. It's just about to all this.
At this point, it would really only understand symbolism.
Because it's a mental illness.
Like, that's how we arrived at this point, where Ron DeSantis cooking hash browns for first responders, which is a symbolic act that doesn't actually do anything.
Because it's, an impulsive, fucking, again, like reactive, impulsive, like mindset and shit, which is easy to garner a lot of support, basically, when you have a lot of people that are like, oh, he made hash browns, that's good. Like, there's a lot of people that essentially have, like, such a hardcore tribalist mindset where something as simple as making hash browns essentially will win them over. Which, hash browns aren't really that difficult to make. Unless you're literally making them from scratch, that can be kind of difficult. But as long as you know what you're doing, it ain't that big of a deal. It's like when Libs did that kneeling shit, but this is worse. At least like the kneeling shit at least had like some sort of like merit in a way. Because it was more, in a sense of, trying to like critique, police brutality and shit like that. With like people like Colin Kaepernick doing it and shit. But like, it never fucking resulted in anything. I mean, it's like, yeah, I feel like people like my dad and shit who think like the fucking Portland police has been defunded, when I know for a fucking fact they've been funded more, if anything. And I was telling them that and shit. It's like, yeah, if anything they have, but they literally don't give a fuck about doing the job because they don't feel respected. That's literally the main reason why the fucking Portland Police Bureau doesn't want to do their job, is because they literally don't feel respected, you know, for their job and shit. So they're like, fuck it, we're just not purposely going to do our job and literally make things worse. Which, you know, illegal street racing, which, you know, honestly also exacerbates, you know, fucking shootings in downtown Portland and shit. Like, you know, maybe, you know, like, actually, you know, having, you know, homeless, like, given, you know, an actual more opportunity towards rehabilitation, instead of fucking, like, kicking them out, you know, one fucking area to fucking have them established in another area and shit like that. Like, there's so many fucking things that, like, the PBB could actually do to garner respect, but they don't do shit. Because, like, the purpose of their existence at this point is to get more funding and basically do fuck all to actually, you know, address the actual issues in Portland, or, you know, the greater Portland metro area and shit, or abroad. Because doing so thus means that, like, you would actually improve the conditions of the city, and thus the whole respect problem that they feel and shit wouldn't be as big of a problem, and they want to make that their whole big hoopla. So, like, they want to cry about how they're not respected anymore and all that shit by purposely not doing their fucking job, and if anything, you know, making them more unrespected by fucking doing stupid illegal bullshit, like fucking running red lights and whatever the fuck, because they have their fucking, you know, sirens and their lights on and shit. It's like, fuck you. It's like, what, you deserve that fucking privilege and shit, when we have to abide by the laws, and if we, you know, do the slightest ever fucking, you know, bullshit to fucking, you know, go against traffic laws and shit, we get fucking traffic, you know, tickets and dinged and bullshit, but cops don't get fuck all? Seriously? Fuck that. Bullshit. I mean, it's like, I don't know, I mean, it's like you were hearing him earlier. I mean, it's like he was kind of defending that a little bit. It's like, what? Like, you're the libertarian guy here, buddy. And I'm more libertarian than your ass. It's like, come on. It's like, give me a break. It's like, I mean, like, libertarians would be more ACAB than, like, honestly, as far as I'm concerned, than leftists would be. Because the leftists gonna, at least, you know, to some degree, me included, you know, understand the concept of law and order, and understand where that might be understandable and worthwhile and shit. But, like, libertarians are all, like, about, like, limited gov, limited, like, everything when it comes to, like, you know, authority and shit, including cops. But, like, they're never consistent with that stupid shit. And even if they are, it's like their idea of having, like, privatized police and shit is insane. Like, during the Roman Empire, like, what was his name, Cassius or some shit? Like, Cassius basically established, like, the first fucking, firefighting force in, Rome. But the key aspect of how they worked is that they would literally show up to a fucking fire that happened in, like, you know, Rome or, like, any other city and shit like that where they happened to be at. And they literally would be like, hey, you either have to fucking sell the property to the emperor, or we will not put out this fire. And unless you fucking, you know, sell the property to the emperor, you know, and do that, you know, then the firefighting force would put out the fire. But if you, as the owner of that property, did not do that in Rome at the time, you would basically they would literally let your property burn to the ground. They didn't give a fuck. As long as you fucking, you know, gave them their cut, they didn't give a shit. It's like, honestly, like, even in history sense, you know, firefighters weren't necessarily great. I mean, in today, I mean, sure. But, like, back in the day, I mean, not really. I mean, honestly, even today, I mean, there's some extent where, like, you know, firefighters, you know, can be considered, you know, kind of like piece of shit a little bit. I mean, because honestly, there's some times where, like, in order to justify their budgets in a lot of different firefighting departments in different cities and shit, they literally will purposely start fires in different areas within the cities that they have district over, just so they can increase their funding, so they can, you know, keep having all the good little treats and shit like that they normally would have as firefighters and shit. Which, I'm not even, like, against, but, like, you don't need to literally purposely let fires happen or start fires yourselves in order to do that, you piece of fucks. Like, I mean, just the virtue of you existing should allow that. Not the fact that you have to, like, justify your existence by purposely starting fires or something. Which there has been, you know, in the past, you know, firefighting districts and firefighting departments that have done that. Which is just like, huh? It's like, what the fuck? That's some bullshit. I mean, so it's just like, I mean, there's definitely firefighting departments where they're hella corrupt and will do shit like that. So, I mean, luckily, I mean, in my area, that ain't the case. But, I mean, at least in downtown Portland, not as much. Like, they're a little bit more corrupt over there where, you know, let's say, like, there's a protest going on or some shit, and there happens to be, like, a fire barrel or like a trash can that happens to be on fire or some shit where people are keeping warm and shit like that, then, you know, like, the firefighters will literally show up with police, you know, to clear the area out where they could come in, you know, put out the fires or whatever the fuck, and then leave and do all this other bullshit and basically, you know, like, use that as a justification to, like, go against, you know, protesters and go against, you know, fucking people that happen to be, you know, going against, you know, the system in some way. So it's just like, I mean, like, at least around here, there's even evidence in cases where fucking firefighters will even work with cops to fucking, you know, fuck over the average people and the average, you know, communities and populace around here. Which, does that help anybody? No. It justifies their budget, though, which doesn't necessarily do much good if they're purposely allowing a lot of this shit to happen anyway in the first place. Which, at least, you know, back in 2020 and 2021, were purposely started by the fucking police or ICE. You know, by the feds and shit. So it's like, they're essentially allowing the feds and the fucking local police to, you know, do a lot of this shit, and then they come in to, like, clean up the mess or whatever the fuck when it comes to fires and shit like that. It's like, really? You just let them, you know, like, you know, stick dogs on us and shit, and then you clean it. It's like, give me a break. It's like, that ain't serving the community at all. Shall we commence with putting out the fire? Some Romans. Wee woo wee. Give us a few Roman shekels and then we'll be okay with that. Or denars, or I don't know what the Roman currency was, but I'm assuming denars, something like that. I don't fucking know. So yeah, give us like 100 Roman denars or some shit, and yeah, we'll let you, yeah, we'll put out the fire for you. Yes. Stuff to tear pipes and bagels. I did have donuts, but yeah.
Than the pragmatic act of him, I don't know, doing his fucking job. But let's not talk too much about Captain Ron, you know? We can talk about him a little bit more when he, you know, like, inevitably becomes the presidential candidate for the Republicans in 2024. Unless, of course, they can manage to find someone, I don't know, dumber and more repulsive than Ron DeSantis. I don't know.
I doubt it.
Is Andy Dick out of jail yet? They wouldn't like him. He's a little too flamboyant, you know what I mean?
You see the cop, you'll give them a donut. but give them a bagel, would they be angry? Would they get angry? Yeah. Because you promised a donut, but then give them a bagel, they're probably like, what the fuck, man? You promised me a donut. So you know what? I'm not going to give you a pass today. So, yeah. I don't know. I feel like, they would probably be upset.
Flamboyant, you know what I mean? Let's change subjects here. Let's talk about moral clarity.
Woo!
Because I saw an example recently of moral clarity. Let's talk about a man who looked at the horrors of the world, who looked at the evils of the world and figured out which one.
The big ass anthrax in it. Does it have like the band anthrax in it, or does it have like anthrax in it? I feel like there's a little bit of difference. If it has the band anthrax in it, I'd be totally okay with that. If it has anthrax in it, I also would be okay with that. I'll go to the bathroom real quick, but I'll keep playing this. I'll be right back.
Top evil, but among the top evils of the world. Let's talk about Matt Walsh, who recently tweeted, "I believe that gender ideology is one of the greatest evils in human history. There is nothing they can threaten that would make me back down from this fight. I'd rather be dead than surrender to this madness. It's as simple as that for me." You know, guys, I gotta tell you, one thing I love, it's Twitter. Twitter, where I got banned from my main account for an ironic usage of the word gringo, which is not, by the way, a slur. It's not a slur. It's just a term that means non-Hispanic. It's no more offensive than a Jew using the word Gentile. It just means not Jewish. Gringo just means not Hispanic. There is no inherent slur quality to the word, and I am not Hispanic, so when I use the word gringo, it's clearly not intended in any sort of racist way, but I'm banned for that, and yet this guy, Matt Walsh, can tweet out to 1 million followers, 1 million fucking followers, that trans people are evil, and it's worth dying to stop them from achieving their hideous, evil agenda of, I don't know, existing. And then these right-wingers act like they're so censored by big tech. Oh, they're censoring me.
Oh my god, I'm so censored because I'm such a bigoted fucking piece of shit. Yeah. It's like, oh no, big tech censor you because you're just so offensive. Meh.
This tweet. And by the way, an insane amount of them, I went through and looked, an insane amount of them have transphobic bullshit right in their Twitter descriptions. Like,
if it's worth,
that's how
if it's worth dying, more power to them. Yeah. I wish they actually fucking believe in that shit. It's like, if it's worth dying for, then fucking just like, get it over with, bitch. It's like, do it then. It's like, come on. Like, y'all being so pussy about it. Get to it, chop chop. I mean, seriously, it's like, come on.
Where, like, when it comes time to describe themselves to you, like, hey, here's my bio. I hate trans people. That's pretty much me. It's that freaking generic. I mean, I hate a lot of people, but I've never hated anyone enough to actually include my hatred of that person or group in the bio section of my Twitter. At
No
least
shit.
I don't think I have. Maybe someone will prove me wrong.
Grow some balls, light yourself on fire like some French protesters. I mean, there's been like American protesters have done that before. Like, I think the most recent example was like some like pro-environmentalist that literally set himself on fire like in front of the fucking, Capitol Hill building and shit. Like, last year, I think, or something. Like, I mean, so I mean, setting yourself afire and shit like that, I mean, isn't necessarily new. And I think, like, another notable case was, like, during Vietnam. Like, I forgot his name, but he did that. There's, like, a literally video. It's like a Rage Against the Machine album cover. Like, there's a lot of different, visual, like, pictures and video of, like, that incident. Back in, like, the late 60s or early 70s or something like that. What else? I mean, there's a lot of fucking, cases of shit like this, honestly. Whether it's, like, drug-induced or legitimate, like, ideological, like, martyrdom or some shit. Like, I mean, setting oneself afire, is not necessarily new.
Think about how stupid transphobia is for a second, okay?
Very.
I mean, I'm sure some of you guys watching right now are transphobic to some degree or another.
I'm not.
But think about how stupid it really is.
Because I cringe.
Someone comes up to you, someone you think of as a dude, and they're like, hey, I think I'd be more comfortable if I don't know, got some tits and started calling myself Shelby. I don't know. And you just, I now, you're one of the greatest evils in history. Right,
Cringe.
Just now. You wanting tits? You wanting to be called Shelby?
I wish it would get rid of cause. I mean, that's definitely how I feel.
Her, motherfucker, greatest evil ever. What? It's not even an evil, let alone one of the fucking top ones. Even if it was an evil, it'd be pretty damn low on the list. It'd be like between, like, elite.
It literally would be the most benign evil that has ever existed on the fucking planet.
Removing a mattress tag and jaywalking. It'd be somewhere in that realm of evil. Okay? You know what's actually evil? Sending a message out to 1 million people that a group of their fellow citizens are evil and that it's worth dying to stop them from existing. Like, okay,
because like people like Tucker Carlson, Jordan Peterson, Lips of TikTok, etc., they basically, enable and exacerbate this fucking outright fucking bigoted, queer-phobic, fucking, women-phobic, hyper-misogynistic fucking legitimate, like, bigotry and shit towards, these legitimately marginalized, groups and shit as a way, as a justification of, like, oh, this is why our ideas are good and why our ideas are right. In a way, honestly, fundamentally, at the end of the day, it's just a way to, like, fucking, hyper, exceptionalize, fucking, and hyper-justify and enable a lot of the fucking, ideas that a lot of these, like, hyper-misogynistic, fucking, queerphobic, like, incel types have, honestly. Because, like, I mean, the core audience to a lot of those fucking ideas are those type of fucking people who happen to be hyper queerphobic, hyper incel type of fucking, like, women hating fucking type of dudes and shit. Which, like, I mean, it's like, while maybe like a minority to a degree, like, I mean, they are legitimately like a very influential group, and the people that, like, exacerbate those fucking people aren't even necessarily doing it to try to, like, tap into those dudes and necessarily, but they happen to be a core audience that tap into that shit. And it exacerbates so much of the fucking toxicity when it comes to, like, being, phobic against, someone that happens to be trans or gay or bi or fucking happens to be a woman or some shit. I mean, it's like, it exacerbates so much of that type of stuff. And it's like, I mean, it's not even trying to be like an SJW about it or anything. It's just like, for me, fundamentally, it's just about basic respect. Like, hey, like, just because of these arbitrary things, like, oh, you happen to be a woman, you happen to be black, you happen to be this, you happen to be that, or whatever the fuck. Like, whatever, those are arbitrary. Like, there's nothing that you or an I can control about that. That's just who you are and, how you is. Like, whatever. Like, I mean, there's nothing I can control about it, so what the fuck? It's like, who cares? Like, I mean, it shouldn't be a big fucking deal, but to so many people, it's like, there's such a strong insecurity either in themselves or how, like, society ought to be that they have to fucking, like, have such a strong fear and such a strong, you know, like, push against such ideas and shit. It's like, what harm is that gonna happen? Like, what is that gonna do to you, motherfucker? Seriously? Like, oh no, someone happens to be trans, or someone happens to be gay, or whatever the fuck. It's like, oh no, that's gonna crush everything about, like, your idea about, like, civilization and shit? Are you serious? Are you kidding me? It's like, fuck. It's like, I wish I could just, like, shake their fucking, like, face a little bit and be like, yeah, like, break out of it. But, I mean, sadly, so many of these dudes are just, like, so hyper, like, fixing that shit. It's like, how do you get them out of that, you know? Ugh. I mean, it's a part of the reason why I feel like my nuts a little bit, because, like, there are legit, like, a decent amount of dudes who are into that type of thing. And it's just like, how do you get them out of it a little bit? Because there's so many variables that, you know, like, are really easily able to, like, you know, manipulate so many people into that type of thing. But, you know, despite the contrary of things, you know, but, you know, for them, it's just more easier to, you know, see the scapegoat more so than the actual reality of things. They were never all there to begin with. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, at least for, you know, some of them. Maybe not all of them, but at least a good chunk of them.
Word in this tweet, okay? One word. That's all we're gonna change, and you just tell me if. Well, here it is. I believe that Jewish ideology is one of the greatest evils in human history. There is nothing they can threaten that would make me back down from this fight. I'd rather be dead than surrender to this madness. It's as simple as that for me. Would Twitter hesitate for a second to remove that for anti-Semitism?
Nope. They immediately would.
Would anybody deny that that's genocidal Nazi talk? No one would deny it for a second, but because it's about trans people, oh, well, there's some wiggle room, because that's the hot button issue. That's the group of people whose rights are on the chopping block, and we have to decide, like, do we chop or do we not? I do agree with one thing Matt Walsh said. He said he wants to die for what he believes in. Well, I'm finding it very hard to see a downside in that, so hey.
I definitely don't. You know what? If Matt Walsh truly believes it, then do it. Do it, motherfucker. We're all waiting.
To you on that one, bud. Maybe you should hook up with that Jeff Dahmer.
Walsh should be trampled by a group of wild beasts and then shat on by them. I agree with that.
Got renewed interest in because of that one Netflix show. What's it called? Berkowitz, I think. Anyway, a lot of the families of Jeffrey Dahmer's victims have said that the show is, and it's the first time I've ever heard this word, re-traumatizing.
Re-traumatizing? What?
You know, a few of them have even hinted that, like, maybe they ought to be cut in on that revenue, you know?
Kind of like what, the victims of Jeffrey Dahmer? Because of the show? I mean, I guess I don't necessarily, like, totally agree with it or disagree with it. But, like, I don't know. I mean, I guess, like, a little bit? Sure. But, fucking... Like, oh, I deserve compensation. I deserve, like, a fat cut of this fucking show. Blah, 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 blah. It's like, okay, it's like, pipe down. I mean, it's this fucking show. I mean, it's like... from my understanding, it's like, what? An autobiography of Jeffrey Dahmer? Like, I'm... Of course, it's gonna fucking, like, you know, go into the fucking victims and the people who died. Like, yeah, it's gonna go through that. And probably go through a lot of fucking traumatic shit. Because, like, we know a lot about what Jeffrey Dahmer did. So, if we're gonna make a show of it at this point, might as well put everything that we know of him in the show, including what the fucked up shit that he did. So, huh? That's a little confusing. Like, okay. Have fun trying to fucking defend that in court, I guess.
Oh, yeah. My brother was eaten by a cannibal, but at least I got that AdSense check. I don't know. My question about this whole re-traumatizing thing is like, hey guys, I don't know if you've ever seen this movie, but it's called, Every War Movie Ever Made. Because I'm pretty sure there's more dudes out there with PTSD from war than there are people out there with PTSD from the time, you know, Jeffy D almost nommed on their booty meats or whatever the hell, you know? I call him Jeffy D, you know, we're tight. I mean, we were, you know. I've never heard anyone say we shouldn't make war movies, though. In fact, you know, usually they're pretty acclaimed. I get shit for not liking those movies. Not because they're traumatic, just because to me they're boring. And maybe it's a...
Boo. War movies aren't really that boring. I don't know why TJ thinks they're boring. They really aren't.
opinion.
Good old JD. I know, right?
To have these days. Then again, what opinion isn't controversial these days? Like, you could literally go out and be like, you know, you could have the most innocuous opinion, like, just like, oh man, pancakes are pretty good, and someone somewhere is going to be homicidally enraged and accuse you of fucking racism or sexism or ableism or something. But I
because Twitter. That's pretty much it. Because Twitter.
feel like we already do too much, and also simultaneously not nearly enough for victims in this society. And what I mean by that is, like, in terms of, like, symbolic power and, like, symbolic amends for what they've been through, we'll give them all kinds of deference there. Like, if a person was, like, involuntarily cornholed by a crazed circus clown, we would cancel an entire movie about a booty-blasting circus clown, even if the thing was already made and like millions had been spent. It'd be like, oh nope, sensitivity to the victims, we can't put that out, you know. But we won't pay that victim any money for like therapy or let them take a few years off work to, like, I don't know, figure things out post clown rape, right?
Yeah, I mean, considering how capitalism works, I mean, like, the workers have to, you know, maximize the profit of the fucking capital owner. So, anything that happens in their own personal lives, well, the capital owner ain't gonna give a fuck. Like, they might give them a little bit of, like, you know, sick paid leave and shit, because they might have to or some shit. But, at the end of the day, they ain't gonna give a fuck. If they can fucking, you know, like, get away with not, you know, giving that sick pay time off or whatever the fuck, or, you know, like, any of that type of shit, oh, you bet your ass they're gonna do it. Because I don't care.
Of course,
they just care about the bottom line.
Seeing about this this Dahmer show is that apparently there's a lot of people who want to see us, like, you know, stop paying so much attention to the killer and start memorializing some of these victims, y'all. You know, like, if you ask me to rattle off some serial killer names, I'm not going to know the real, like, deep lore kind of shit, but, like, the main ones, like, the big ones, the Jeffrey Dahmers and the John Wayne Gacy's, the Ted Bundys and the Zodiac Killer and Albert Fish and stuff, I know those guys, you know? You ask me to name some of those victims of those guys, I remember that one of Albert Fish's victims was named Grace Budd, but that's only because he wrote a doozy of a letter to her mom. And you know,
I know there's at least, like, you know, one or two survivors of Jeffrey Dahmer too. So
you probably ain't gonna forget it too easily. But this memorialize the victim stuff, it's not new. It's not like the first time I've seen it. You know, we're always going to be... Here's the thing I think people need to understand about this whole, like, look at how we pay so much attention to the killer but so little attention to the victims. Here's the thing. We are always going to be more fascinated by aberrations than we are by adherence to the norm, okay?
Yep.
So, like, the real problem these days is that people view attention as a form of currency. So when they see all this attention being given to Jeffrey Dahmer, they almost view it as like, this is a reward that he is getting for killing a bunch of people. Well, let me remind you, Jeffrey Dahmer led a miserable life of depression and despair and lovelessness, and then he was brutally murdered, okay? Like, his life is not some...
Yeah, he literally got shivved in prison. Like, he didn't really have a good life.
Grand narrative of success and beauty and wonder, okay? He's not a fucking figure to be emulated or cared about in a... You know, like, you could care about him. I'm not saying totally dehumanize him. I don't believe in that. But what I'm saying is, like, you know, it's not a happy story, all right? He didn't get some great reward for being a serial killer. He's notorious because he killed a lot of people, but it's not a freaking prize, all right? Just like the obscurity of the victims is not a punishment. The idea that fame equals good and, living a low-key, normal life is somehow like this horrible... fate of the damned, and it's an awful thing. Like, that's just a flawed way of thinking about it. I mean, there's always going to be attention whores like me in this world, but when everyone becomes an attention whore, that's just a recipe for some weird, like, dark mirror shit to go down. All right, so like we need to get away from this. All right, so what else happened? Velma from Scooby-Doo. All right. After 50 years of just being queer-coded as hell and like a blatant, obvious lesbian, finally, she's just overtly a lesbian. Boom, it's happened. It's finally happened, you know? And a lot of people are very excited about it. But I'm just like, I'm looking at this scene, and I'm not even... I get that the lesbian thing is a big deal for a lot of people, and I'm not trying to take away from their moment. But all I can think is, like, them thighs, though. Holy shit.
Them thighs, though.
I mean, Jesus, I hope she's bi.
Velma thick, though. Yeah, I will admit. Velma thick, though.
So that I still have a chance, you know. I mean, she's a cartoon and way out of my league, but... if she, and, you know, honestly, if she was going to break off a piece for, any low-life stoner, it'd probably be Shaggy, right?
Yep.
Like, he's got Shag right in his name, for fuck's sake. Okay, so one more story, and this is another fun one. I think kind of fun. I mean, it's a nightmare, just like everything else I talk about is a fucking nightmare, but still, it's kind of a fun nightmare. So there's a new M&M out, a new M&M character. It's a purple M&M, and even though there's pretty much nothing to indicate that the M&M is transgender, conservatives have basically decided that she is, and have gotten mad about it. So you got that. No longer are they...
So they're literally upset and wokeifying M&Ms again? Oh my god. Whatever.
Get mad about stuff that doesn't matter. Now they've gotten to the point where now they're making stuff up.
I mean, what else is new?
Doesn't matter to get mad at.
Oops.
Like, I mean, okay, so question. Do... like, M&M characters even have genitalia?
Nope.
Because, I mean, like the rest of you, I have certainly spent a few hours, scrutinizing the M&M commercials, trying to see if I can spot any hint of, a penis, a vagina, some sort...
They literally don't.
...sort of reproductive anatomy of any sort, I keep trying to... I've tried to call an expert, Tucker Carlson, but he won't return my calls. I don't know. Ever since he ditched the bow tie and went to Fox News, it's like he thinks he's too good for me or something. I don't know. And on a personal note, some people on the Deep Fat Fried subreddit said that they hate my current look.
Well, they're cringing fucking ridiculously dumb.
And they feel I look like a disgusting Amish creep.
Well, that's based.
Or an incel who just joined ISIS. And I just want to say to them, guys, that's kind of mean. Maybe tone that down. I don't know what I ever did to you to hurt your feelings, but there's no reason to hurt mine, okay?
True.
Anyway, I'm the Amazing Atheist, future ruler of the earth, saying to you, peace the fuck out.
Hey, good video, TJ. I like it. I will admit, though, I'm feeling pretty fucking hungry, so I'm might make myself some ramen. Because ramen sounds pretty fucking good right about now. So, good TJ video. I like it. Good stuff. So, peace out. And of course, I'll be back around for the next one.